He's done a good job of handling it.
First pitch is lined into left field for a base hit. That'll get down into the corner. Farquhar is going to try to stretch it to a double. Here comes the throw. It's cut off by Seegers. And the first pitch of the game results in a double for Michigan State's Trent Farquhar.
Good throw there from Petey, just a little bit offline. Seegers had to cut it off. Let the base runner go, and not good fastball low and outside, just a really well-placed hit there. And saw that happen in Ty's midweek start when they kind of flared one on him right down the line, and just go get outs now.
Right, and same thing happened in the Nebraska game on Sunday too. They got a leadoff home run from their hitter, and then Ty was solid the rest of the way. So a little early trouble for the Hawkeyes in the top of the first. Farquhar out there at second. Here's Mitch Jebb, a fastball missing outside from Ty to start off this at-bat. Again, they go with the first four being lefties for MSU. Here's a strike from Ty.
Not a huge mystery that Michigan State was going to get a hit or two. I mean, I know yesterday was the exception with Marcus shutting him down for 6 innings, but this is a really good hitting squad. 309 on the year now after Iowa's caused them some problems.
Here's a ground ball past a diving Dorighi at first. They're going to wave the runner from third. Here comes the throw from Wilmus, and it is not in time. Michigan State on the board first. After a double, Jebb hits a single to bring home Farquhar.
Roped that one through the gap there between Dorighi and Honar.
The next batter for the Spartans, first baseman,
all right,
number 28.
Here's Vredenberg.
Vredenberg.
He's their best offensive threat. Another lefty. Ty will call time and retie his right cleat. All right, Michigan State 1-0, a couple of hits already. They're certainly aggressive to start this game off.
Well, and that's, Ty's a strike thrower, and they've done a good job finding something they like and going after him aggressively.
Runner takes off. Throw down is in time. Got him! Cade Moss again. Not so fast, Mitch Jebb. You're out, number one. To erase that single that was just hit on a strike from Langenberg to Vredenberg. It's kind of a
Langenberg to Vredenberg.
Yeah, there you go. A ball and a strike to the stellar Spartan. Here comes the pitch from Ty. Grounded foul, straight back, 1-2.
I saw that yesterday too. Michigan State kind of ran into a couple outs and maybe let the Hawks off the hook in a couple places, and see how this pans out here in the first inning.
Fastball outside from Langenberg. Good spot to miss there against the big lefty for Michigan State. 2 balls, 2 strikes out of the windup here for Ty. The pitch. Ground ball up the middle. Tello is the one playing over there to the right of the bag. Got to hurry. The throw to first. Got him. 2 down.
He's going to get one somewhere along the way.
You got to imagine. First pitch swinging is Jack Frank, and he grounds it foul down the first baseline. Uniform combination's pretty sharp today. I got to say, I like Michigan State's. They've got charcoal grays on, with Spartans spelled out in their green across the chest, bright white outline on the numbers and letters. But the charcoal gray is a pretty good look. Iowa countering with black tops and the gold Iowa block print across the chest. White baseball pants for Iowa today as Frank squares the bunt, pulled it back. It's a called strike on the outside corner. Gold ball caps in the field for Iowa with the black bill and the black block eye on the front panel.
I think that's anthracite for
them. Okay, there you go. Yeah, you got the official as the 0-2 is hit on the ground to Honar at second. He'll pick it up, throw it across for the third out of the inning. Out of the windup, the pitch to Ben. That's outside, ball 1. Wilmus starting in right. He was the DH yesterday, had a productive day. 1-0 delivery. Ben thought about it, didn't swing it. 2-0.
Good take there, had everything going forward. Held up on that low and inside fastball.
Hitters count here. He squares the bunt, pulled it back. It's a called strike on the inside corner. Wilmus batting .260. He's played in 39 games this season. On base percentage of .463 as he slaps that straight back to the screen. It's 2-2 now. Iowa with a little bit of change to the batting order this morning, going with Peterson in the 2 spot, moving Raider Tello down a couple. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch to Wilmus. Swing and a miss. He's out number 1. Iowa trailing 1-0 in the bottom of the first. Peterson with a check swing. Didn't matter. Called strike on the breaking ball to get things started.
A good slider there, up and in.
Here's one off the end of the bat. Hit foul down the right field line. It's 0-2. So far, a lot of strikes from Higgins.
Yeah, really attacking the zone. And it doesn't, walks about a guy every other inning. So good numbers, but not great numbers. But he's been after the zone so far.
I like pitchers that throw strikes. Obviously, I like when our guys throw strikes. I like when the opponent throws strikes, too, because I count on the Hawks to get some hits. As the 0-2 is swung on and missed. Back-to-back strikeouts. Peterson a bit late on that one.
So you kind of want to pay attention to that if you're coming up there and get 2 strikes.
Might take a minute to adjust to this guy as Dorighi spikes it foul down the third base side. Brennen is solidified in the 3 spot. Haven't seen him move much from this position. He's up with the bases empty and 2 down. Iowa trailing early 1-0. Higgins checks the sign. He's ready for the 0-1 on its way home. It's low and in.
He throws hard.
Really does.
He does. Just kind of pops out of his hand, and he's got some zip and some movement to it.
One's off the plate outside to Dorighi. I guess I've noticed over the past couple of weeks, teams, they don't try to go outside as much to Dorighi as we saw at the beginning of the year.
Early, it seemed like they really tried to pound him away.
That one just off the plate, maybe a bit low to Brennen. And the count moving into his favor, 3-1.
See if he can take advantage of that.
Slightly open stance for Dorighi. He's ready for the delivery from Higgins. Breaking ball, that's ball 4. It was outside, tried to bring it in the back door, but didn't get the call. And so Dorighi will walk, keep the inning going for Raider Tello, who's in the box now. Try to carry that over today in the cleanup spot this morning.
Said it felt like he had wings.
Yeah, I bet. He smokes the first pitch foul. That carried well down the right field line. It'll find the parking lot. Raider with his first triple of the season as a Hawkeye. I'd be interested to see if that's his first career collegiate triple.
I would be willing to think that it was.
They've got the shift on the infield for him. 3 infielders to the left side. The 0-1 fastball is a called strike. High in the zone, 0-2.
0-2. We just showed you the fastball. I'm not sure if he'll. Again, his out pitch has been the fastball, but if he hasn't shown you the breaking ball yet, he might switch it up.
Ground ball right up the middle, but Farquhar is there. He'll race to the bag and get Dorighi out on the force. So the shift works for Michigan State. That'll do it for the bottom half of the inning. Michigan State holding on to their 1-0 lead. We're back after this. This is Hawkeye baseball from Learfield.
Runner on base.
Langenberg is ready. First pitch on its way home. Breaking ball, called strike on the inside corner. A first pitch strike dealt from Ty. That's a good start.
We talked about it yesterday too. Getting strike 1, you're getting ahead so that you can work your pitches. He gets strike 2 there, and so now he's got kind of all of them at his command and can keep Brecker a little bit off balance here.
Certainly on his back foot. Here comes the 0-2 from Langenberg outside on the slider. It's ball 1. Brecker's the first right-handed hitter that Ty has seen today, the first 4 being lefties. We'll go back to a lefty in the on-deck circle with Sam Bush. 1-2 pitch from Langenberg, missed in the same spot, low and out, ball 2.
Brecker, 300 hitter in Big Ten play. 314 overall, so kept his run going here as the Big Ten season started. Great defensive catcher as well.
A couple of stops yesterday. The 2-2 is swung on and missed. Ty went back to the breaking ball there. first 4 or 5 guys pretty contact heavy, right, and threatening. The bottom half, a little bit more, I guess aggressive would be the term. Not bad hitters by any means, but more aggressive.
Right, they can certainly get theirs, but there's also swing and miss potential there more with some of the top of the order.
Ty's worked to 1-1 count. He got that swing and the miss on Bush on the first pitch. He's the DH. Stands tall in the box, squares to bunt, put it down the third base line. It'll get fouled, and good thing because there's nobody over there.
Yeah, that was. I like the idea. You know, you've got a guy with some good pop that Iowa wants to go ahead and put a power shift on him, and he went ahead and tried to take advantage of it. But again, you see why Iowa might not be afraid of the bunt, as he couldn't keep it fair.
A ball and 2 strikes. The delivery from Ty just off the plate outside, away from the left-handed hitter. I think this might have been the guy we talked about yesterday with the bunt situation. We talk about it with him trying to put one down, with the shift being on. I think it might have been. Here comes the 2-2 outside, ball 3.
Just kind of buzzing through. Boy, Michigan State, a lot of guys hitting 300 or better in Big Ten play.
Ty lost it. Threw a couple of pitches outside, not particularly close on the last one there to Bush, and so it'll be a walk.
The next batter for the
Puts him on
Spartans, third
base.
baseman, number 2, Dylan Clark.
First free base allowed by Ty this morning. Go for one of those ground balls now.
Exactly. Kark is another one of those guys too. 317 in the Big Ten, 298 overall, or 292 overall. So he's actually picked it up in Big Ten play.
Kind of the reverse of what you'd expect, right? Just generally speaking. Langenberg out of the stretch now with Bush over there at first. Not a significant stolen base threat, as this is hit just foul down the third base line.
Good fastball there from Ty. Was able to get it in on his hands. And Kark couldn't get the barrel out in front and keep it fair.
Kark had a rough go yesterday. He was 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Moss setting up a bit outside here for the 1-1 pitch from Langenberg. We'll wait a second for it as we throw over to keep Bush close to the bag. Again, Bush with 3 stolen base attempts this season, successful on 1 of them. 1-1 pitch, just outside. Got too much break on that one.
Good breaking ball there. A nice piece of hitting from Kark to lay off of it. As that was an outstanding pitch, just barely missed wide. Moss tried to frame it back in.
Not sure how he didn't swing at that one. Here's the 2-1. Fouled back to the screen. It's 2-2 now. Went back to it and put it in a totally different position.
Same breaking ball, and actually really raised the level, elevated it up. Kark wasn't able to get the bat all the way up to it.
See what the strikeout pitch is for Ty if he can get one here. The 2-2. Tapped foul towards the Michigan State on-deck circle. Just barely got a piece of that one.
Good slider down and out of the zone. Kark stayed with it. Just got a piece of it. Ty hasn't had the greatest command of his fastball right now. See if he goes to it here to try to get the out.
Long pause from Ty on the mound. Here comes the 2-2. Got a piece of it again and fouled it off.
Did go back to it there. Tried to get it on the outside part of the plate. Kark was up to it, and Moss couldn't quite squeeze it.
I think that's a good pitch there from Langenberg. Maybe setting up something to that outside. Go back to the slider, kind of running out of room with the 2-2 on its way. Another foul tip by Kark. He stays alive.
Kark's pretty much seen all of them at this point. He's seen the slider, the curveball. Maybe if Ty can fool him with the changeup.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe it's changeup time. Here's the pitch. Another foul ball.
That was the changeup. So he's now seen them all. Been able to get pieces of all of them. And Ty's been in the zone. See if maybe he can take that slider, the breaking ball, start it on the outside part of the plate, break it away from him, maybe get him to swing over the top of it.
See what he comes up with on the 2-2. Goes to the fastball, swing and a miss.
Now, the breaking ball actually got the little dip. dipped out of the zone and got the second out after a good battle.
Finally got him. It's just good baseball there as Mays is in the box. He tried to bunt, totally missed it. That's strike one.
He had a great bunt yesterday. That was I think the second hit of the game for Michigan State. Showed really good speed on another ground out too, so he can fly down the line.
Quick throw over to first to keep the runner close. Couple of strikeouts for Ty in the inning. Mays is a strikeout candidate. He's got 55 on the season.
You have to try to walk him.
Right. He's only got 8. Floats just outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Not challenging Ty to walk him, so let's be clear here.
Trying for the wrong thing there.
Exactly.
Michigan State on top, 1-0 in the second. This one lined into left, could be trouble. Carrying well, get foul. It is, oh, they called it a fair ball into the corner. They're going to keep the runner at third. It's going to be a double by Mays. That one had to have hit the line down there and left.
What a well-placed ball there, right on the line. 320 ball went, 1 hop the wall. Petey did a great job tracking it. Just a place where he couldn't get it with the left-handed hitter. Got over there quickly, though, got it back in. Bottom of the order here. Big batter early in the game.
Huge spot. 2 in scoring position for MSU. They've got 2 outs in the inning.
Scoreboard improperly foreshadowing a run there.
Don't like that. Threw one up there, and Ty throws a strike by Ziegler, a swing and a miss. Ziegler's their center fielder. It is 1-0 Michigan State. Got runners on second and third. Langenberg out of the windup, the 0-1. That's in there for a strike, 0-2.
Great battle there. Now you got to finish. You need Cade Moss to be big, be a good brick wall behind home plate, not let anything get past.
Ty working quickly. The pitch just outside. Looked close, looked good, but it's a ball.
Only thing that could have been was maybe a little high, I suppose. But boy, that's pretty much dotted the outside black of the plate.
This one is lifted in the air to right. Wilmus moving forward a couple of steps, still running, and he's got it. All right, so a long double after a walk. A couple of strikeouts for Langenberg in the inning. In that first, did walk a batter. See if we can get to him in the second. Tall righty throws one in there for a strike to start off Huckstorf's at bat. That's one on the inside corner, and Kyle would have to really get the hips going, the hands quickly through the zone. Oh, 0-1 pitch from Higgins. That's on the outside corner, 0-2. A little bit of chirping from the Iowa fans on that one.
Probably fair.
0-2 is just below the eyes. Kyle lays off of that one, ball 1. Looking at the Michigan State outfield, not really respecting the power that Kyle might have. They're not playing as deep as I would think, especially out there in center. That one's outside, 2-2. Maybe the wind playing a factor. I don't really get the sense that the wind is blowing in strong enough to impact a ball, do you think?
No, Ziegler's shallow there, and if Kyle could pull one into that left center field, he could skip it right through.
2-2, hit him.
That's
on that elbow guard.
Nice battle back there, 0-2. Takes 2 pitches that were kind of around the plate. That's why you got it on your elbow.
Big shift on for Honar with 3 infielders to the right of the second base bag. First pitch from Higgins outside to Sam.
Huck has 12 stolen bases, but we talked about this yesterday. Brecker is really good throwing behind the plate.
Kyle has a decent lead at first. It's not large as Honar lines it down into left. It is just foul. Put it where it needed to be, but just to the left of that line.
It's funny how sometimes you're on the team that gets the bounces, and sometimes you're on the team that's just on the other side. So far here through an inning and a half and a couple pitches, the Michigan State ball lands on the line, and they couldn't turn it into a run though. Iowa gets the one just on the outside of the line.
I like to see Honar take it opposite field, though. Be making an adjustment as he slaps this foul to the left side, 1 and 2. I know that teams really like to go low and outside to Sam.
We saw it early in the season. He's a good hitter to left center field, just 209 in Big Ten play, but when he sticks and kind of stays on these lower outside pitches, he can drive it into left and left center.
Here's the 1-2. Popped up down the left field line. Mays will give chase, but it'll get out of play. Try to get Sam to drive this pitch count up a little bit. What do you think?
Well, again, that's doesn't always have to be a hit early in the game. I mean, obviously, you'd always like to walk up there, but there's other ways to be productive at least.
Just low and out on that pitch. Good discipline there from Sam on that hard fastball.
Well, another one of those that's probably a strike, but Brecker's set up differently and isn't able to catch it and really frame it into the zone.
Sam probably has to swing at that next time.
If Brecker sets there, he certainly does.
Lines this into left center, just like you called it, John. It's down into the wall. Get going, Kyle Huckstorf. He rounds third. He'll score. Sam Honar ties us up with an RBI double. If he was playing deeper, but it skirted all the way by him. Off the Tiger Hawk in left center. Iowa threatening now with Seegers in the box. First pitch strike to him. We're tied at 1 in the bottom of the second. Honar out there at second base.
When we saw Mays yesterday, didn't make a good throw, had a chance to make a great catch and couldn't pop it up. It was small sample size to see him, but not the fleetest left fielder.
Seegers golfs this out of play to the right side. He's down on the count 0-2.
For a guy that runs the bases exceptionally well, the speed hasn't, at least with what we've seen, hasn't seemed to translate into left field as well.
Which is strange, but you're correct. 0-2 for Seegers. Protecting the lines, especially on the pull side for him. Check swing on that fastball. Did he go? No, sir.
Seegers kind of wishing that one outside. It was, but you could tell he was wanting the breaking ball and wanting it to go further outside.
Higgins has got the sign that he likes. Here comes the 1-2 to the Hawkeye shortstop. Line drive, foul.
Good piece of hitting there from Seegers as that fastball almost got snuck by him, and then he almost took out some young fans there in the top row as they thought about grabbing it, and it was moving, and decided they'd go ahead and let that end up over by the Jacobson building entrance.
Really working Michael on the outside. He hits this on the ground to first base. Bradenberg will pick it up. That's basically like a bunt there for Michael, getting that runner Honar over there. And Braden had Ben Wilmus in the DH spot yesterday. But with Mulfler towards the bottom of the order now, he's in the 8th spot this morning. And his first hit of the season last weekend, it was a home run. That'd be okay in this spot. We'd also take a sacrifice fly or just a general base hit. 1-0 pitch to Mulfler, swing and a miss. Fooled on that one.
Yeah, he was set on the heater and instead got the spinner and kind of went right over the top of it there. Good pitch, outside part of the plate. That was going to be a dribbler at best. Might have scored the run though.
Mulfler squares to bunt, missed it. Strike 2. Honar had to dive back to third base.
Tough pitch for a guy like Will to bunt. That breaking ball again, outside of the zone, low and away. That'll test your back problems.
Yes. I got to be really good here with the 1-2. Slider low and out. That's ball 2. All right.
Good job from Will too, understanding there how they're working you now, and so based on what we've seen so far, you might want to be ready for that fastball with 2 strikes.
Find a bloop somewhere over these infielders who are playing in on the grass. 2-2, swing and a miss.
Higgins heated him up, went high and away.
Infield a move back now for Moss. Highlighter green bat for Cade today. He's got the open stance, watches the fastball sail outside. It's ball one. Higgins still out of the stretch here as Cade swings and misses a nice slider. It's 1-1.
Really nice breaking ball there.
Pitch with that vertical drop there.
And it's in the zone. It's right at the edges of it, so it's hard to hit, especially if you're not looking, if you're looking for the other one.
Here's a line drive up the middle, backhanded by the second baseman. Long throw, got him. A little bit of a shift on for Michigan State there, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be a base hit up the middle, but Farquhar was shaded up toward the middle. He was able to make an easy play, good long throw. Been a little bit more aggressive in their approach, and when they see a ball in the white, they've gone right after it.
Starting things off with Farquhar, a fastball that's off the plate outside. He had a double his first time up, would later score. Spikes that foul down the right field line. It's 1-1.
Just really a nice seeing eye double as he kind of got it up in the air, sliced it away from Peterson, and then just good hustle there to turn it into a double.
What have you seen from Ty the first time through?
He's done a good job throwing some strikes and really kind of commanded the zone.
One hit foul in the air to the left side. It's 1-2.
What he probably learned the first time through was, you know, if I just try to get ahead without throwing a good pitch, they're going to hit it. They're going to be aggressive and go get it. So, got to be selective with the location.
Here's one flared into left center. Peterson will move over and make the catch in the alley. One down.
And good job there. You know, he's able to get ahead in the count, makes a good pitch, low and away. Again, Farquhar does a nice job. Goes down and pokes it out there, but carried a little too far. Petey's able to go get it.
It's just a collision, I think, between these two styles today, with Michigan State being aggressive and a really good hitting team, and Ty throwing a lot of strikes. It's just going to be who can execute their process better today. First pitch swinging is Jeb. Backhand stop by Honar at second. Throw across, 2 down.
Well, the key for Ty is again, miss the barrels. Don't just hit the middle of the plate. Throw those strikes, but throw it on the edges so that you're in control of where they are, rather than just okay, here it is. Because you make the mistakes to these guys, particularly a guy like Bradenberg. He's going to punish you if you're just throwing strikes for the sake of throwing strikes.
Yeah, it's the first time we've seen Ty throw one inside to one of these lefties. He missed to Bradenberg. Bradenberg grounded out to Tello in the first, but Rader was playing to the right of the bag where he is now. Ty's missed a couple of times now. Back-to-back inside.
That was a closer pitch. He threw the same pitch, just better location there, but still just a little low and in.
Bradenberg swinging at this one and rips it foul to the left.
Not surprising your .433 hitter would have a green light on 2-0.
2-0, 3-1. Big time hitters counts. The 2-1 from Ty just outside. That's ball 3. Got to be really careful now.
Bradenberg slumping in Big Ten play, just .415.
Ooh, wow. Outside corner on the fastball from Ty there. That's still a good pitch, but Bradenberg, what is he? Yeah, he's okay. He's 6th in the conference when it comes to just Big Ten competition.
Yeah. Sam Peterson, Keaton Anthony up in the top 5.
Full count pitch from Langenberg on the way.
Oh, yeah.
Got him! Called third strike, brought it in the back door, and guess what? He didn't even knock it.
Timed it up and punished him for the free base as well.
See what Wilmus has learned. After his first at bat, he struck out.
See what changes Higgins makes now as he goes through. He's kind of showcased the fastball a lot the first time through.
Wilmus slams it foul to the right side. He's quickly down 0-2. Sun trying to break out this morning. Pretty overcast, stormy skies to the north as Wilmus lays off that one. A good pitch, but it's outside. That's ball 1. It is a pretty nice day. It's not too humid. You'd think it would be with the storms in the area. So far, so good this morning. 1-2 pitch to Wilmus. in on the hands and fouled straight back.
Who got that into the Michigan State dugout? What a ricochet that was.
Really?
Yeah, it ended up right over in the dugout, and I'm not sure anybody was particularly paying attention.
No, because that was fouled over to the right a bit. Almost trying to hang tough against Higgins. The 1-2. Low and out, ball 2.
Higgins 1-1 in 3 starts in Big Ten play, so 19 and a third innings, so it's fairly deep. 6+ innings a start. Michigan State does a little bit different than Iowa. His pitch counts run up a little bit from time to time.
Ooh, that's a really good pitch. It missed low. There was a little bit of a flinch by Terry Helgett behind the plate.
I thought he was punching him out. There was that little bit of a did not pull the string back to call him for strike 3.
Full count pitch. Wilmus popped it up straight back. The catcher's going to give it a look. Brecker comes over. This will get out of play and find the seats. Good at bat here from Wilmus. Find a way on now with a full count to start off our 3rd.
Good job from your favorite menace. He's at least required a lot of pitches to get the out. So hopefully he can get a payoff here and end up on first base.
The Michigan State freshman's ready. The pitch. Crushed to left. Carrying well. Get going, baby. It is gone. Benny Wilmus. Boom.
Ben Wilmus turns on the fastball. Center. Felt good about it. 368 over the left field wall. Hawks lead 2-1.
3rd home run of the season for Wilmus. Going here, Sam Peterson in the box. He's free swinging and fouled it off.
I think Petey was looking fastball, so the hitters might have to adjust. He's thrown a few more of those sliders to start at bats now.
Missed that time, low and in.
And pops right back to that fastball and comes right back to it. So
1-1. Peterson drives this to center. It won't carry enough. Ziegler has to run back right in front of the track and make the catch for the first out. Seeing Higgins for the 2nd time. Figured a little something out.
Better contact for sure.
First pitch strike to Dorighi on the low portion of the zone. Brennen walked in the 1st. Nice breaking ball on the outside corner. It's 0-2.
Yeah, that was the anti-knock breaking ball there from Higgins. Good job on the outside part of the plate. Dorighi will have to battle back.
Higgins looks relatively unfazed. Goes with a fastball high and out for a ball.
Pretty impressive demeanor from both of the freshman pitchers. We saw Jerwa yesterday even though he got hit around a little bit, was very composed out there, and certainly seeing that from Higgins.
Dorighi lines it foul into the net over the Michigan State on-deck circle. It'll stay 1-2. Yeah, he stepped right back out on the rubber and continued to throw strikes. Michigan State's probably in good hands with their starting pitching for a couple of years to come here. 1-2 to Dorighi. This one crushed into left center. This one carrying well. Get going, baby. It is gone off the scoreboard. Dorighi bomb. Boom.
Dorighi hits himself in the face on the scoreboard. 101 goes 375 to left center field. Couple of solo bombs for the Hawks. Extend the lead to 3-1.
Keeping that momentum going. All of the pitches that they've seen. Here's Raider Tello. He probably wants in on the fun.
Powered by Pistachio.
Yeah, you got an interesting story from Raider. Big pistachio guy, I guess.
Yeah, I don't even know how it really started down in the dugout before the game. He fouls that one back. We were just talking about it. He's like, he said, I have 19 packets of pistachios here, and I've got 20 more in the clubhouse. He goes, so I'm ready. And so then it just became powered by Pistachio. So we're trying to figure out how to get him an NIL deal out of it all.
The 1-1, he hits foul, just missed that one. Boy, he knows it too, because that was middle in. It's down in the count 1-2. We'll have to check the nutritional info on pistachios. A little extra protein, a little extra pop. Here comes the 1-2. Lined into center, hit well, but right to Ziegler, 2 down. All right, here's Kyle Huckstorf. First pitch he sees, a good hard swing and a miss.
An in fastball there for Kyle.
I think Kyle likes that pitch, doesn't he?
He really seems
I don't know if it likes him, though. The one's in the dirt. Good job to lay off of that one. Hawks up 3-1 now in the third. Scored 3 unanswered. Even with Michigan State in the hit department. That's high, ball 2.
They played Coach Heller's 1,000 win video, and the clip of me talking about Kyle's home run there was see something fun like that.
Took that one, breaking ball up and in. That's a strike. It's 2-2.
Probably going to want to see that, or look for that fastball elevated here.
Here's the pitch. Kyle got a piece of it, hit it foul in the air. That wasn't necessarily elevated, but you got the fastball that you were looking for.
Got the fastball. He kind of the way he's been, Higgins has been willing to challenge hitters when he gets ahead, knowing Kyle's going to like to swing at that ball up in the zone.
He's got that elbow twitching out over the plate. Fastball outside corner, and it rung him up. Uxdorf is out number 3. Couple of solo home runs for the Hawks in the third. We've taken the lead. Iowa 3, Michigan State 1. The fourth coming up right after this. 2-run advantage for the Hawkeyes at this time as we're in the top of the fourth. Each team with 3 hits. Ty's fastball missed low and out. Frank, the 4th lefty in the lineup as he swings and smashes it foul, 1-1.
Hawks been able to take advantage of power surge. A couple of home runs and a double there.
1-1, nice breaking ball. There it is, the slider on the outside corner. It's 1-2. Yeah, it's been Iowa that's had the extra base hits. Michigan State with 3 hits, a double, 2 doubles and a single rather. It's the 1-2. Frank reached for it, actually sent a charge into it down the left field line. It'll stay foul though.
Good slider there out off the edge of the plate. Was just trying to get the outside part for that the strikeout like he finished the last inning with. Good piece of hitting. And let him get away there by hitting him with the slider inside.
It's a different version of a good piece of hitting there on that pitch as Frank was hit in the calf.
The catcher,
The worst part of doing that is Frank is the best base stealer on the team, so you've create some angst by putting him on first base with nobody out. Not exactly what you're used to seeing out of a cleanup hitter, but 16 stolen bases in 21 tries.
It's pretty interesting too. He doesn't have a big lead at all. He's not even to the cut of the infield grass at first. Must not need it. Extends it a little bit now. Brecker is in the box. First pitch is fouled back off of the umpire. Good start for Ty to deal a strike.
Interesting that Michigan State's head coach is in the dugout, and he's the one flashing the signs, not the third base coach. He had to turn all the way around and look back into the dugout.
That makes it interesting for the batter, doesn't it? Runner takes off, pitch hits Brecker between the shoulders.
Boy, Ty's just, the 2 pitches were just not even close. I mean, sometimes the guy gets hit by a pitch because he's crowding the plate, or you're trying to just pick off an inside edge, and both of these guys kind of got hit right in the middle of the numbers. And unfortunately, Ty was ahead in both counts.
Then his minor just slipping out of the hand. We talked with Coach Heller in pregame. Michigan State, they're good at the short game. Good speed, good base path, running and whatnot. And just didn't really see a lot of it yesterday. The score, the trajectory of the game kind of dictated that with Iowa in a dominant win. So today a little bit of a different story. Bush in the box, and first pitch from Ty was just outside. The 1-0 on its way. Swing and a miss, 1-1. I guess what I'm getting at is, are you surprised that they're not bunting here?
Well, at least well, yes and no. But you've got a guy in the box here with 18 extra base hits, 7 home runs. But Yeah, try to get both in scoring position.
Especially with nobody out, all of a sudden Bush is down in the count 1 and 2.
I think your idea too is probably that he might be your best hitter in this line coming up, so
Sure.
he might be your best opportunity to not only drive him. And Kark is also a really good hitter there with some pop.
1-2, hit well, deep to right center. Big trouble. Wilmus going back. He makes the catch in front of the wall, and there's no tag opportunity for the runners. Wilmus tracked that one down, didn't he?
Boy, what terrible base running there. If that ball is over the fence or gets in the gap, if that guy on second base goes back and tags up, if Frank is ready to tag up, he's going to get to third if Wilmus catches it. If the ball short hops the wall, he's going to score. And instead, he's halfway between, so he's really kind of in no man's land anyway. And so when Wilmus tracks it down, he has to go back. Brecker had to hustle back to first, and Hawks really catch a break there. Not only is Wilmus able to run it down, but no advancement from Michigan State runners.
You think the wind helped that stay in the ballpark a little bit?
More than likely, is he really got 106 off the bat. It just went 365 out there.
I thought big time trouble, and it was for a moment till Wilmus tracked it down. Here's Kark, first pitch strike from Ty. Feel like a little momentum, a little juice fed to the Hawks now. After that great defensive play by Wilmus, the crowd is certainly into it now. How about a ground ball? No balls and a strike with one out. Runners at first and second. Hawks up 3-1. Fastball low and out.
Thanks to my dad, he sent the picture. He had pistachios, high source of protein.
Okay, there it is.
Very nice. We can put the pistachio conversation to rest now.
Yes, the 1-1 swung on and missed. Kark chased it 1 and 2.
Great breaking ball there, and that's the part where you after you've been able to show it, now he starts the breaking ball on the outside part of the plate and breaks it off, and he's able to get the chase.
Ty's pitch on the way. This one low and out and gets away from Moss. Kicked off his shoulder, and the runners will advance to second and third.
Yeah, just Cade's done a great job behind the plate, but that one was a no-chancer there as it skipped and spun. Couldn't keep the protector in front of it to keep the angle down, and Michigan State ends up getting that advancement anyway.
That takes away the double play possibility, at least the conventional version. Runners at second and third with one out. 2-2 pitch from Langenberg. Low and out again, and that time Moss blocked it. Full count.
Just holding on to that pitch a little too long. It's not he's not trying to throw it hard, but almost like he's holding on to it just a touch long, spinning it right into the ground.
The wind up, the pitch. That's low. Lost him, ball 4. And the bases are loaded for the Spartans.
The next batter for the Spartans, left fielder, Casey Mays.
Opportunity with the double play back as a possibility, but it brings up Mays, who hit that double off the left field line his first time up back in the second.
Probably not going to double up Mays. He's got a ton of speed.
Langenberg's first pitch is low and in. Blocked forward by Moss. He'll come and grab it.
Wind's starting to pick up here. It'll be interesting to see what the weather brings in the next half hour, 45 minutes.
Quick mound visit from Moss. He'll go out and try to settle Ty down. 3 free bases.
Lost control there with the walk.
1-0 pitch. Line drive, base hit into right. 1 run is in. They're going to wave a second. Here comes the throw, and he is out at the plate. Got him. Great throw from Benny Willis in right.
What an awesome throw, because I'm telling you what, Brecker had a giant lead at second base. There was no way I thought that Iowa would be able to throw him out at the plate, and that wasn't even close. Wilmus put it right on the mark. Moss held in there nicely, tagged his opposite number out, and Michigan State runs into another out on the bases.
Really incredible there, and that was, like you said, John, not close, but good execution by Iowa. Michigan State, they do get 1 there. Runners at first and second with 2 outs. A swing and a miss by Ziegler.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Ty now, you've just got to limit damage. Go right at him. Keep it just that single straight line on the scoreboard.
3-2 is the score. Fastball out from Ty. And a lot of pressure in this at bat too, because you don't want to see the top of the order with runners on.
No, you don't want to roll up to Farquhar with the bases loaded, or
Pickoff moved to second, just about threw it into right center.
playing. Kark has a giant lead out there, so I don't think he's particularly a running threat in this situation, but just trying to distract.
Swing and a miss on that one. It wasn't close. It was low and out. And Langenberg got him to go fishing.
Now the same thing here. This ball can't be in the strike zone.
I agree with you.
It's got to be competitive, but it can't be in the strike zone. You can't let him get a barrel on it.
Langenberg's got the sign. Here's the 1-2. Fastball just high and out.
Ish. He dots it up. And again, you don't usually get that high fastball. It probably caught the black of the plate, but a little too high for the umpire to call a strike.
You got what you wanted there. It was very close. It was competitive. We'll try it again on the 2-2. Ground ball left side. Tello waits for it. Backhand, step, throw. Got him at first. Good job by Tello. Great defensive play. And that'll do it for the top of the fourth. Michigan State, they do get one back. It's 3-2 Iowa.
Showed a lot of grit to get out of it. Could have been a whole heck of a lot worse.
Honar skies the first pitch. He sees into right center. Ziegler and Frank come together. It's Ziegler who's got it, one down.
Again, when it blows from an odd direction, it's always a little scary.
Michael Seeger's in the box, squares to bunt, pulled it back, and it was a strike. Iowa 3-2, bottom four. Stormy morning, now afternoon in Iowa City. This game was supposed to be played at 2. It had no chance of getting it in.
Doesn't look like it, no.
1-1 to Michael. Tapped foul to the left side, 1-2.
Don't want to lose my live reads.
Can't lose those. Those have been with us for a long time. You got a lot of check marks on there. Interesting to see how the next couple of innings play out here with the Storms in the area. We're trying to get through it. Here comes the 1-2 just outside. Michael grounded out to the first baseman back in the second.
Good job, though. It advanced the runner. Didn't pay off for the Hawks. But
Fly ball to right center. Frank and Ziegler again move towards each other. This time it's Frank who makes the play. 2 down. He hasn't let Iowa string anything together. It's just been a couple of home runs and a hit batter in the second, and then giving up a double to Honar.
And that's just it. The 3 Iowa hits are all hard. That's the thing. Otherwise, he's done a great job of missing the barrel of the bat. Hasn't given up a ton of free bases.
Moelfler in the box. He's watched a couple of pitches miss the zone. 2-0.
He's just walked one guy, but the 3 hits he's given up were all loud.
Here's the 2-0. That's low and out, ball 3.
Unfortunately, his one walk was followed by the double, so that gave up the run, and of course the 2 solo shots were certainly hit well.
4-pitch walk for Moelfler. He'll keep the bottom of the fourth going for the Hawkeyes. Iowa's been a really good team all year with 2 outs. We'll see if they can keep that trend going here in the fourth. Up 3-2. Moss will take this inside for a ball, and now Higgins has missed on 5 in a row. I don't know if you want to put the red light on Cade, but it's got to be, like you say, John, one of the pitches that you're looking for.
Better be, if you're swinging, it better be in the exact tunnel you're looking for. Otherwise, take this pitch and take the next one.
Yep. We'll have time called, and the catcher Brecker will go out there and talk to good matchup. He is down in the bullpen now. I don't know if he's throwing anymore. Moss will take that in there for a strike. 2-1.
Obviously, you've got a full complement after yesterday's performance. Simpson would be the only reliever that would be on the shelf today.
The 2-1. Moss lines it foul towards the batting cages down the line in right. It's 2-2. I got to wondering, with the change in the rotation, how does that change the first guy out of the bullpen? because usually when Brody came out, it went to Whitlock. When Marcus came out on Saturdays, it went to Savory. Yesterday, Marcus came out and went with Simpson. So it's kind of interesting how things unfold as this is blooped foul and out of play again over there to the right.
Well, and Marcus didn't need the guy to go long yesterday. That was the best part of that, was you were able to break up the game in a different way and allowed you to do something different. Use the lefty to attack all these left-handed hitters.
Two balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. The pitch to Moss, low and out. Good eye there, ball 3.
Good hold there, breaking ball low and away. Cade didn't offer at it. That'll let Muffler get a chance to get a running start on the Cade double down the line.
That's what we're hoping for. Cade's got, in my opinion, surprisingly good plate discipline, but as a catcher, he's got a good eye on things. Full count pitch, he bloops it into shallow right. Second baseman Farquhar going back, coming together with Frank, and it's Farquhar who's got it. Left-handed hitter, Langenberg returning to the mound. First pitch is high and out, ball 1.
Both pitchers probably running up near their top. Langenberg at 74. Higgins is up to 81.
We got there fast, didn't he? Farquhar pops this up, left field side. Peterson angling towards the line. He'll look up, 1 down.
Langenberg, you heard Coach Heller mention it pregame. Langenberg did throw 100 pitches against Ohio State his last time out. So, and then now throwing a day earlier than normal. So, might not have as long of a leash as normal. So we'll see. We'll see if he gets if he can get through clean this inning. What the Hawks do and where he sits.
Jeb stands in. First pitch outside from Ty. That's ball 1. I think having the full complement of the bullpen really would help the decision in saying we don't need to stretch Ty super long. There's a strike at the knees, 1-1.
But I think that was part of it last week on Sunday, where the bullpen had been used, and so you ran him back out there in the 7th and maybe extended him a little further than you wanted, as that fastball misses just barely outside.
Funny what a good Friday night start can do, right?
Sets up your weekend pretty well.
Here's the 2-1. It's outside, ball 3. I did that thing where he kind of spins after he throws it. You can kind of tell that's going to be a misfire. Out of the windup, the 3-1 on its way home. Outside corner, called strike.
Caught the edge of the black.
Part of it, one of the laces, it seems, yeah.
Seam got the edge of it. See if he can finish it off.
Pop fly, left side. That'll get out of play. It's turned into a long at bat for Jeb. Jeb singled in a run in the first. Got things started for MSU. Rounded out to second and a third. Full count pitch from Langenberg. He looks for the sign. Shakes off 1. All right, he likes this one. Here it comes. Low and in, ball 4.
That's what Jeb is just so good at, the plate discipline. Just 19 strikeouts. That's walk number 29. So outstanding ratio for him.
Bring up the dangerous Brock Vredenberg. Tall drink of water at 6'7". First pitch from Langenberg, caught the corner, strike 1.
And again, Jeb tried to run in the first inning, got thrown out, but good stolen base threat down there at first base.
Yeah, he's 13 of 17 on the season. Very short lead, though. I think maybe Michigan State's figured it out that they should not try to get those free bases so easy on the base pass.
Ty is relatively quick to the plate. Jeb's trying to get a jump lead there.
He's dancing around at first. Vredenberg slaps it foul. He missed it. Boy, he's frustrated with himself. Takes a lap around the batter's boxes.
Good job from Ty there to hold the ball, vary the hold. Jeb was trying to vault, and then he'd come back. He tried to time the vault again. Ty did a good job getting Jeb to stop his feet so that he couldn't get kind of that running start.
No balls, 2 strikes. The pitch, ground ball up the middle. Seegers will wait for it. He's got it, hurries to the bag. Did he get there? He's out at second.
Good play by Seegers, and that was a tough one as he just barely gets Jeb.
Seegers rather would have been in a good spot because Jeb slid over the bag. I know he didn't go to tag him out after that, but they got him on the force as they both dove for the second base bag.
Well, it felt like Seegers knew that he got there first because there was no, hey, let me keep this tag on you or go get the tag back on you again. So good job there. 2 outs here in the 5th inning.
One more to get. Iowa up 3-2. Vredenberg stands over there at first base. Here's Frank, left-handed hitter. He's got a bit of a closed stance. Right foot closer to the home plate than the back foot. This is lined right to Honar, who leapt and caught it for the 3rd out. Good connection by Frank, but right to a Hawkeye infielder.
Quite a duel so far. Both pitchers, neither one have been necessarily great, but they've both been good when they needed to be.
Wilmus 1 for 2 today, a strikeout in the 1st. He clobbered a home run to left his last time up in the 3rd. 1-0 pitch to him. That's a good one on the outside corner, 1-1.
You know, both teams now you start thinking about, okay, it's the 3rd time through the lineup. Who keeps winning the chess match of getting people out or adjusting the approach? A lot more sliders here. Good pitch there, 1 and 2 now.
He's gone with a lot of off speed here for Wilmus. Last time he had him in a 2-strike spot. He threw it over the heart of the plate. Does it again. Wilmus popped it up though. Shallow center. And nobody made the play. It dropped. Ziegler was coming forward. Wilmus ends up at second.
Hit one like that, and you get a base hit on it. That's baseball.
Make him pay here, John. That was a mistake. It'll go down as a double, but a mistake made by Michigan State out there in the field, and it'll bring up Peterson.
Yeah, you have to punish him for this now. I mean, you've got a runner on second with nobody out, and obviously the meat of your order coming up.
1-0 pitch. Petey takes it at the letters, ball 2.
I think you'll see a bullpen start getting a little quicker. And happened yesterday, too, where you just have a chance to make a play and you don't help your pitcher out. Iowa defense did a great job of that yesterday. Michigan State defense didn't.
The 2-0 delivery, Sam chased it. Dropped down to a knee to swing at that one and missed it 2-1.
Well, about halfway through that swing, he realized how bad of an idea it was, but it wasn't anything he could do about it by then.
Much too late. Iowa 3, Michigan State 2 in the bottom of the 5th. Sun's starting to peek out. He'll try a pickoff move, throw it into center field. Wilmus, he'll sprint for 3rd. Another mistake by MSU.
Boy, that just, and you kind of wonder too if the shift affects that, because that's Farquhar trying to cover, and he's on the shortstop side, so he's coming in at a different angle. Higgins puts it over on the second base side. Not that he can't see where he's coming from, but he makes that mistake. If Farquhar's in his normal spot, it all works out fine. Unfortunately for him, that ball ends up in center field. Now the Hawks in real business.
Infield comes forward for Michigan State. Fastball low. It's 3-1 to Peterson. Wilmus at 3rd with nobody out. Iowa up by 1, trying to extend it. Higgins has got the sign. The pause on the mound. The 3-1 to Petey. Into center. Hit well. Ziegler is there. He'll catch that. Wilmus will tag and score. Uncontested. Hawks lead at 4-2. Started over again with Dorighi. Slider for a strike. Inside corner of the plate. Iowa 4. Michigan State 2 now in the 5th. Each team with 4 hits. 1 out in the inning. Dorighi homered his last time up. He's had a really good weekend. At least a good game today, but he's down in the count 0-2. Walked his first time up. Out of the windup, the pitch from Higgins. Way outside, that's a ball. Oh, we did make it hurt. We did make him pay for that mistake out in the outfield, and then the throwing error by the pitcher on the failed pickoff attempt. Dorighi goes down on strike, swinging over the top of that breaking ball. He's out number 2.
Good pitch there.
Field shifted over to the third base side for him. First pitch to Rader. Nice pitch. Fastball in the outside corner. 0-1.
Just trying to get a sense. I don't see Higgins is approaching 100 pitches. You know, as a freshman, boy, it just seems like a long, long way to go.
I just wonder about Michigan State's depth in the bullpen. It doesn't look bad, but...
Well, they've got a couple guys that have a whole lot of appearances, so they really try to lean on a couple of arms. So you're probably going to try to space them out and shorten them up the best you can.
Yeah. So maybe the depth isn't great out there. You know, you see appearances 21, 19, 17. We saw Matheny yesterday. He's going with 17. Here's the 1-2 to Tello. Inside, almost hit him. Did it? It did. Just clipped the elbow guard. Rader will jog down to first.
Steals one on a 1-2 pitch inside. He tried to get out of the way.
That'll bring Jake Boss out of the Michigan State dugout. It's a little bit of an explanation there.
It hit him. Okay. I mean, I'm not really sure what the conversation would be about here. Doesn't have to try to get out of the way. Wasn't leaning over the plate. We're gonna do the.
We're gonna have a conference of the umpires. All right.
Funny enough, Higgins is talking to Brecker, and you can just kind of tell he's mad. He knows he hit him. But I don't know how any of the base umpires are going to be able to tell the home plate umpire, no, you did not get hit by a pitch.
Yeah, I mean that's. I don't think the guy out at second is going to be able to tell any better than the guy behind the plate. And that's the agreement that they've reached. Tello will take first.
Basically, I think the umpires huddle and go, what's the requisite amount of time we have to wait before we can go back and tell him where the call stands?
Yeah.
Okay, 15 seconds, great. Let's go back and do it.
Center fielder Kyle
And we got a problem now. We got time called. I'm a little bit fearful about this. We see the event management. Pick things back up with 2 outs in the 5th. Iowa 4-2. First pitch to Huck, swing and a miss. And we're back underway from Banks.
And there's that spinner right away. And I know it's on the scouting report, so boy, you'd really like to see Huck show some discipline now, stay on this.
Out of the stretch, the 0-1 delivery. That one off the plate outside. It's a ball, 1-1.
Good job there. I mean, you swing at the first one, no surprise they're going to double you up. And really good pitch located just off the outside part of the plate. And Huck didn't offer at it.
Yep, trusted the physics of that, right? A ball and a strike with 2 outs. The pitch from Carson. Check swing. Did not go. Ball 2. Huck today was hit by a pitch in the 2nd inning. He would later score.
Grazed on the elbow guard.
Yes. Did strike out his last time up. He's got a 2-1 count right now. Here's the pitch. He went around on that one. Really pounding the sliders. That one was outside, and Kyle couldn't hold up 2-2.
Well, and that's the scouting report is slider, slider, slider. Now 4 in a row there. I mean, I suppose you can start playing the guessing game, but I think you've got to look slider and try to fight off the fastball if it comes.
The 2-2, fastball right down the middle. And that'll do it for Huckstorf's at bat. He's out number 3 against this Michigan State lineup, so we'll see if that holds true as Brecker is in the box. The delivery just inside to the Michigan State catcher. Right-handed hitter. Struck out in the 3rd, rather the 2nd. Was hit by a pitch his last time up. Savary deals that one high and out, ball 2. Deep breath by Savary on the mound as he attempts to regain. Here's the pitch. This is fisted into left center. Could be trouble. Seager's going back, and it'll drop for a base hit.
Or what a perfectly placed ball in the Bermuda Triangle there. Is swung at the 2-0 pitch on the inside part of the plate and just fisted it out into nothing land, and Seegers couldn't go back. Peterson thought about laying out for it, but
the designated hitter,
no go there.
Sam Bush.
falls for a flare single.
Yeah, really tough for Seegers to make that play, and then right in between Huck and Petey. So that brings up Bush now with the runner at first. Savory deals low and maybe a bit inside, ball one.
Neither.
Neither, all right. Yeah, it looked pretty good.
We're going to go with neither on that one.
Plate umpire needs to warm back up again, too. 1-0 pitch from Savory. Ground ball right side past Dorighi and into right. Brecker's going to try to stretch it to third. He'll get there easily. Runners at the corners now for Michigan State with nobody out, and they're threatening in the sixth.
Boy, an unusual choice there for Seegers as he let that ball go through and then got away from Tello. And so good job. Savory actually was a little late getting behind third base to back it up, and got there and was able to hold Bush to first base. So another ground ball single. So neither ball hit particularly hard, but both balls well placed.
Bit of accelerated action in the Iowa bullpen with Christopherson and Llewellyn down there now. Top of the sixth, Iowa 4-2. Runners at the corners, nobody out for MSU. Savory versus Kark. First pitch, ground ball up the middle off of Savory's glove. This is a double play ball. Flip to second for one, on to first for two. The double play. They'll score a Michigan State run on the backside. It's now 4-3, but we'll take that trade off.
Hawks will take the trade on the, I guess if you said Savory touched it, on the 1-4-6-3 double play.
You think so? I could have been wrong. I thought maybe it skipped off his glove a bit, but maybe we'll just go with a traditional 4-6-3. What do you think?
Yeah, they didn't put it on the official score.
I might have blinked.
Either way, Hawks get 2 outs. That's the only important part.
So Brecker scored. Bush was out, as was Kark, who hit into that 4-6-3. I'll admit my mistake there. Probably didn't hit off his glove. Here's Mays, left-handed hitter. This is hit into the gap in right center. Hucksdorf moving over, won't be able to get to it. He'll cut it off, though. Quickly get the ball in. Here comes the throw, and it's not in time. In fact, cut off by Honar. It's a double for Mays. He's 3 for 3 today.
I thought Huck had a chance. That ball just hung up a little bit. It was kind of blowing towards him, but couldn't quite get there. But did a great job of cutting it off. Thought he would have a chance then to make a play at second, but good speed again from Mays. He's really a blazer. But
well, if you think about it, if Huck doesn't knock that down, that's a triple then.
At the very least. And Mays has got 5 of those already. He and Jeb are really get around the diamond with those. Jeb has 7 of those.
4-3 in the top of the sixth. Iowa clinging to the 1-run lead. Michigan State with a runner at second and 2 outs. Here's Ziegler. The bottom of their order with the top on deck. A ball and no strikes with 2 outs. Savory taking his time. Here's the pitch. That's high, ball 2. Missed in the same spot on those pitches.
We've talked about it a couple times, but with Farquhar on deck, you really want to make sure you go after Ziegler here.
Two-0 delivery. High chopper to Tello at third. He'll wait for it. He'll step. He'll throw for the third out. All right, so we get out of a little bit of a jam there. Give Michigan State 1. I'd rather we score in this one.
Just go ahead and get to it. If you're going to do it now.
Honar will square to bunt, pull it back. That was a smart decision. It's ball 1 in on the shins. Sam with an RBI double to get the scoring started for Iowa in the second. Flied out to center last time up in the 4th. 1-0 pitch to Honar. Swing and a miss over the top of the breaking ball, 1-1.
Yeah, I saw that first pitch fastball inside, and then law of averages should have said he was going to see a slider, but swung right over the top of it.
3 infielders to the right of the bag at second. This one is low and in, ball 2.
Wrapping up Michigan State starter Higgins, 4 2/3, 4 hits, 4 runs, 3 were earned, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. He did hit 2 batters. Then Carson got the last out of the 5th.
Relatively impressed by him.
Did a nice job.
The 2-1, Sam with a swing and a miss, 2-2.
And then wrapping up Langenberg, 5 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 runs. They were both earned, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, and 2 hit batters as well. 88 pitches, 55 strikes. So,
solid.
Yeah, decent day. Gave your team a chance to win. That's kind of what you're, every time you're hoping to get there.
2-2, line drive just foul down the first base line. I think what I'm getting at with both of those starting pitchers is that neither one was afraid of the other team, because obviously we know Iowa's offense very good, Michigan State's is strong also, and both pitchers were fearless out there on the mound today.
Well, and we've talked about, Michigan State and their 309 team batting average. Well, Iowa hits 299, so it's not like Iowa's a bunch of slouches out there either. And Iowa's actually drawn 50 more walks than Michigan State, so tough lineup to get around with.
2-2, Honar puts it in the gap in left center. It is down into the wall. Sam rounding first, heading for second. He will slam on the brakes there. And it's a leadoff double for Honar. Gets it going with 2 strikes. And that, I think, made it worse for him.
Completely. It ended up blowing it actually over his head because he had a bad angle at it.
Corners in for MSU as Seegers is in the box. He'll take this downstairs, ball 1.
Nice job from Michael to lay off the low fastball. Certainly have seen Coach Heller give him the bunt sign, and then Michael's just been good at playing smart baseball and moving him over by hitting the ball on the ground that way.
Another one in the dirt. Good eye there from Michael, 2-0.
When you look as a team, again, you start thinking about the gaudy numbers that Michigan State has at the top of their order. 309 as a team, 412 on base percentage. Iowa runs 299 as a batting average and 424 on base percentage. So Iowa's not really a slouch in that department either.
2-0 catches the outside corner. It's 2-1. And that's kind of been the theme of Iowa. Their offense all season, it's 1 through 9. We talk about it quite a bit. Strong top to bottom. Can get on in a variety of ways and then make you pay with the power, especially at the top. Here comes the 2-1 to Michael. Squares to bunt. And has some backspin on it down the third base line. Michael, the throw to first. Not in time. Great bunt by Seegers.
It turned into a great bunt for a hit. It was a bunt that caused Honar to hold up because that little bit of a pop-up to it. He didn't get a great read on it, but Seegers flying down the line.
Iowa up 4-3 in the 6th. Tight game. Here's Mulfler. Slider low and out. Not going to swing at that one. A double and a single for the Hawkeyes now in the inning. Puts the runners at the corners with nobody out.
Carson is slow to the plate, so you could see a guy like Seegers, especially in a position where maybe you could run and create something.
Back to the slider there. That one a called strike at the knees, 1-1.
Iowa created that run yesterday with Peterson going and then stopping, because again Brecker has a great arm behind the plate. See if there's any sort of game that gets put on here.
Michael was leaning, and they threw it over to first.
It's got to be very comfortable to throw over it to a 6'7" guy.
Yeah, if you misfire and throw it over his head, that
he's got a catch radius on him.
Yeah.
Saw him make a couple good plays yesterday, too, of tracking balls down, pop-ups down the field.
Another check on the runner at first. Michigan State might be on to us a bit.
Mulfler tried to lay down a bunt, maybe not his ideal play. You might see, and I'd expect to see more just with the running game here than any sort of bunt and run.
There goes Michael. The pitch is low and out. Throw is cut off by the shortstop. Michigan State got it right that time. 2 in scoring position for the black and gold now as Mulfler will step back in.
And that was just an impossible pitch to throw anyway. I mean, they certainly had the play on where Brecker was throwing it to Jeb the whole time, but breaking ball low and away. Great backhand by Brecker, but he wasn't going to get Seegers on that one.
Outfield playing very shallow.
That's 16 for Seegers.
He's got the lead, right?
Yes,
Building on it.
just took it.
Yep. 2-1 to Muffler. Called strike on the outside corner. He's seen all sliders, hasn't he?
Just buckle. He saw that. I think the first pitch fastball, and then everything else now has been the slider. And you're right. The center fielder very shallow. Right field very shallow. Any sort of contact in the air, those really should be enough to score a run.
Here's the 2-2. Oh, called third strike.
Possibility of some action this way.
The order with Moss. Closes his stance in this situation here with the corners in. First pitch. Called strike. Outside corner. And that's what Muffler got rung up on in the last pitch, but it's still not a strike, John.
Well, and Cade's asking about it because Cade's been catching all game, and that pitch has not been called all game long. And all of a sudden we're getting stretched out on the zone, which is fine. Just keep calling it then if you're going to do it.
Cade squares to bunt and fouled it back. 0-2 now.
Slider well outside that time, but kind of stabbed at it. Tough pitch to bunt as that slider's working away, and with what the umpire's calling, you got to be a little nervous to take it. And so now it's just going to be important to see if Cade can just bounce one up the middle. Middle infield's deep, so it'll still score a run if he can just get a bouncer.
Here's the 0-2. And he stays alive and fouled it back.
Stuck with the slider there. Good pitch. Low and in the zone. Actually going to have a mound visit here.
Cade's got 19 RBIs on the season. Found himself in this position a number of times this year with a clutch opportunity waiting in the wings. Here comes the 0-2. Outside, definitely a ball. First one that Moss has seen.
Not sure what coach told him there. 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Popped it up in the zone there. Now Cade's going to need to probably look. He raised his eye level a little bit. Look for that slider down, breaking low away in that same tunnel.
1-2. Good hang there by Moss. Got his hands going, but that time went with the slider outside.
Threw about exactly the same idea. You know, that was start that slider on the outside part of the plate after you showed fastball so that maybe he'll kind of blink at it. And Cade did a nice job holding up.
Find a way here, Cade. 2 balls, 2 strikes with an out. Runners at second and third. The pitch popped up down the right field line, angling towards foul territory, and it'll get out of play.
Would have been one of those interesting decision points there for the right fielder as he tracked over to it. You know, does Frank go ahead and catch that as he hits the wall and allow the run to score, or does he go ahead and trust his pitcher to go ahead and try to get the out without letting him score?
It's a good point, John. Out of play. Have to really worry about it. Here comes the 2-2 on its way to Moss. Low and out, ball 3. It was close. We've seen it be called a strike this inning only. That one was just a little bit too far out.
That was a ball more outside than the other 2 were. So we're still maintaining consistency. That's the part. It's the part you're looking for. It's a new consistent, but at least it's consistent.
Iowa fans offering their support for Moss. Here comes the full count pitch. In the dirt, ball 4.
What an at-bat from Cade Moss there. Battled back. He was in big trouble, just kept working. Probably a little less likely to see short game here with the bases loaded, but give Ben a chance to get on that fastball.
Swings at the first pitch, just missed it. Fouled it to the right side.
Right on the slider there. Good pitch again from Carson, down in the zone, you know, right across the middle of the plate, but really well located down low.
I think there's enough pop in Ben's bat too, where let him give it a rip. Here's the 0-1. That's high and tight for a ball.
Big spot now. I mean, it was big before. Sure. It just keeps getting bigger at this point. And
well, back to the top of the order, and you can really have things snowball in Michigan State if we can put the ball in play here. The 1-1. That's low. Ball 2. Got a little flinch from the home plate umpire, but he didn't commit to calling it a strike, and it's a good thing he didn't because that was well low.
No, it was clearly low. Brecker did a great job of framing it up because it really, from an inside-outside standpoint, it hit the spot. It just couldn't frame it up and sell it to the umpire.
Almost got a piece of that one. Fouled it off the catcher's right shoulder. That one doesn't feel great. It's 2-2 though.
Another good breaking ball located down in the zone. Got it a little bit up. See, I mean, seems to like the slider. If you're Wilmus, you know, he used the fastball to punch out Huckstorf in the last inning. So
Wilmus choked up on the bat. The 2-2 in the air to right. Angling towards the line. Frank is over. He'll catch it for the out. Honar speeding down the line from third. Here comes the throw. Not in time. Sacrifice fly for Benny Wilmus. He does his job. It's 5-3.
I guess I'll answer my question. He'll catch the foul ball, and now I know why. As he threw a dart to home plate, Honar had to hustle.
2 down in the Hawkeye 6th.
Feel about a PD bunt hit.
It'd be fun. Sam is in the box, so how about that? How about Petey getting hit? Takes it on the shoulder. Bases loaded for Dorighi.
Not a huge fan of that because little bat Petey's been swinging, but yeah, you're gonna score a couple, and with Petey's speed, you got a chance to clear the bases with a double anywhere.
Find your pitch here, Brennan. Not that one. That one bounced in front of the plate. Ball 1.
And the scouting report on the last 2 words on the scouting report from the Hawkeyes are dirt ball. So, you know, you've seen it. He likes to throw that slider down. You've kind of taken it out of his arsenal here with a runner on third base.
1-0 to Dorighi is an outside breaking ball called a strike. 1-1.
Thought you were going to call that outstanding. A really good pitch there. He's snapped that one across, outside part of the plate. Riggs done a good job going the opposite way today, too.
The 1-1. Ground ball to second. Farquhar's there. He'll throw it to first for the 3rd out. Start things off with a fastball that missed to Farquhar. High and away. I'm excited for this. This ought to be good. Out of the windup, the 1-0 pitch from Christopherson. Hit him. Got him on the elbow guard, and Michigan State's got their leadoff man on base.
Wasn't a terrible pitch, just threw the fastball a little up and in. Farquhar was sitting on top of the plate. Did what good leadoff hitters do, took it off the elbow pad. 11th hit by pitch of the season for him as well. You can tell the guys that aren't afraid to go ahead and take one of those.
Yeah.
Guys are double digits. They don't work real hard to get out of the way.
Well, now we need a ground ball. Batter is Jeb. There's the slider outside corner to the lefty. Strike 1. Jeb today has had an interesting day. He singled in a run in the 1st, grounded out in the 3rd, walked in the 5th.
Got a caught stealing in there, and another good breaking ball, and was forced out at second base on a great play by Michael Seegers on a ground ball up the middle. It just barely edged Jeb to the bag.
It's been an adventure for him on the base pass, I guess we could say.
He's had some work for not spending a lot of time out there.
0-2 is lined to Seegers. High leaping grab. He caught it for the 1st out. That was full extension.
Very well timed. I thought it was right at him. And again, another one of those balls that just had lift, kept kind of going up, Seegers goes up and
The
gets
next
it.
batter for the Spartans, first baseman.
One away here in the 7th inning.
Brennen.
We've seen Michael and Sam, for that matter, over there at second make a couple of those plays this weekend. That one, I thought, ooh, it could get over his head, especially the later it got in flight. One out, here's Vredenberg. Stofferson missed high and out to him. Vredenberg today is 0 for 3 with a strikeout.
Will's got to throw enough fastballs to kind of keep the feel for that slider. He can't just throw slider. Boy, great jump there. No chance from Moss.
Yeah.
Will did a lousy job holding him on first base there.
Farquhar with the stolen base without a throw from Moss.
He had a running start when ball was still in Will's hand.
2 balls, no strikes to Vredenberg. Here's the pitch. Slider outside corner, called strike 2 and 1.
No harm done. You just want to, you got to zoom in here and pay attention to what you're doing. Don't compound the mistake.
Be careful with Vredenberg. That one missed high and out, ball 3. Three balls and a strike with 1 out. The pitch is hit well to left. Big time trouble. And that is off the top of the scoreboard. Vredenberg finally hurt us.
Vredenberg almost hit it over his own face. We're tied up here. Boy, he launched that 396. Tried to get it over the scoreboard and just missed.
13th home run of the season for Big Ten's batting average leader. We are tied at 5 in the
For the
7th.
Spartans, the right fielder, Jack Frank.
Opposite field for Vredenberg. Here is Frank now. That one is outside.
John knows the other team. He goes, that's trouble. He doesn't say like who's running chase after it. So.
1 ball, no strikes. This one is bunted to second base. Honar will pick it up. Got to hurry. Can't get it out of his glove.
Boy, that was. We talked about how good the Iowa defense has been. That was just a guy trying to give you an out. But Iowa did not turn it into an out. So
He bunted that incredibly hard. It was a ground ball to Honar by the time.
The catcher.
I had glanced
Brecker.
down because I was trying to see. The home run leaders in the Big Ten, and when you said bunted, I thought there's no way he bunted that ball.
Yeah. More of a drag bunt type, and so I'm going to charge that with an error to Honar.
Rightfully so, unfortunately.
So Frank reaches. There's 1 out in the top of the 7th. We're all of a sudden tied at 5. Here's a strike to Brecker.
He's got a guy in Frank again with a ton of speed over there at first base, so going to have to pay attention. Can't afford to just let him take second base, especially now that we're all of a sudden with a tie game.
Trying to keep that runner close over there at first. Another pickoff attempt. Brecker singled his last time up in the 6th. There's a slider strike from Will. 0-2.
Big spot here for Will. Just control those emotions. You know he wants it.
Check swing. I think he went around. Did he? Ooh, they say no. That was as close as you can get.
Wow.
Great pitch from Will.
And that's a strike. That's a strike in the bottom of the last inning too. So not only did it look like he went around, but it was really a spot that the umpire's been calling a strike since the rain delay.
There's one fouled back to the screen.
See, Moss just saves the umpire there, so they should buy a call here.
OS1.
Yep, OS1 now.
1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 out. Christofferson's actually kind of settled in after giving up that home run. Runner takes off for second, pitches outside, throw down is just off the bag a bit. Did they get him on the retag? No. Safe at second. Close, but a good hang by Frank to get to second base. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out. Christofferson's pause in the pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him there with that one.
Will's going to the dugout, but there's only 2 out.
Singled his last time up in the 6th.
Singled right through the right side over there between Honar and Dorighi.
Haven't seen a first pitch strike from Will in a while, and he missed outside there. 2 down in the inning, but a runner in scoring position out there at second for the Spartans. They've tied it up in the 7th. It's 5 apiece. Here's the 1-0. High fly ball to the right side of the infield, and it's actually Moss as it's tailing back towards us, and it'll find the seats down to our right.
Well, heavy wind and heavy spin brought that almost all the way back to the booth here. As the first bounce had good spin, bringing it back our direction.
Don't make me feel so bad, John. When that ball was off the bat, where'd you think it was going?
Oh, bullpen for sure. Bullpen for sure.
I appreciate you. This one's hit foul down the line and right. I thought at least to the batting cages, and it bounced basically even with the on-deck circle over here. I didn't have a good read off that one off the bat. Well, the Hawks will have Tello, Huckstorf, and Honar due up when we get to the bottom of the 7th. We played all these innings and don't have a ton figured out yet. We're tied at 5.
That's where the Hawks didn't get enough when they had a chance last inning. They had a big opportunity.
Fastball floated high and out, 2-2. I just kind of had that feeling, right? Anytime you leave the bases loaded, just kind of makes you worried, especially in a tight game. Christofferson settling back in for the 2-2. He's ready. The pitch. Outside corner. Called third strike. We'll see.
Another Hawkeye.
And Michigan State's capitalized both times. They had a runner on third and less than 2 out, whereas Iowa's 2 for 4 in those spots.
Haven't had the clutch hit yet. Michigan State had a clutch hit to get back in it and tie it up there in the top half of the inning, but I was still waiting for their clutch hit. Tello will take this down Main Street. It's 1-1. Just kind of like we alluded to in the first couple of innings of the game, especially against the Michigan State starter Higgins, we didn't really string anything together. Just a couple of extra base hits, but kind of since the delay, Hawks have had a couple of base hits and then moved runners and got creative on the base paths, so trying to piece it together. That one just low to Tello. It's 2 balls and a strike.
Might see Wyatt Rush here, who's 8 saves for Michigan State, is arm down there in the bullpen. Michigan State would probably wait to see if they could take the lead in the top of the 8th. Misses outside there, see if they could get him to get 6 outs. Because again, there's a lot of appearances in a few guys. There's a lot of guys with double-digit appearances, but you can tell the couple guys that really get trusted. Obviously, Carson is one of them, but Wyatt Rush is the guy they're going to look to close out a game.
Carson's in there now. The 3-1 to Tello. Ground ball up the middle, and they've got it played well. Farquhar is there. He'll throw it across. 1 down.
Get that right into the shift.
Next batter is Iowa's center fielder Kyle Huckstorf. First pitch to Kyle, in there for a strike.
I know it was a strike, but I appreciate the fact that he took that slider instead of kind of swinging wildly at it. It wasn't what he was looking for, and so he didn't go swinging after something.
Didn't swing at that one either. That one a little bit further outside, but still called a strike. 0-2. Huckstorf 0 for 2 this afternoon. Couple of strikeouts, both looking. On his toes here, the 0-2. Fastball out.
Good job from Carson here. That Fastball's getting up now into the mid-90s, 93, 94, 95, and that slider's down in the 83 to 85 range. So good variance. He's starting it in the kind of the same tunnels, so really confusing the Hawk hitters.
Huckstorf is really waiting for his, isn't he? I mean, the last two have not been strikes, so I'm glad he hasn't been swinging at him, but 2-2.
So we've seen 2 fastballs here now. He better be ready for that slider again.
And if he gets it middle like he did on the first pitch, we'll give it a ride. Here comes the 2-2. Chased it. Half swing, and he went around. Kyle will walk back to the...
Got to kind of know how they're going to try to attack you and work you after you've seen 2 fastballs out of the zone.
Onar will let it rip on the first pitch he sees, fouled it back. Base is empty for the Hawks in the 7th. All tied up at 5 with Michigan State. Hawkeyes can clinch the series with a win today. Here's the 0-1. Inside, almost hit him. It did hit him, and Sam will take first.
Skipped it off his foot, and a way for Siegs to keep this inning going. Onar with decent speed down there at first base.
First pitch to Michaels in the dirt. Backhand stop by Brecker.
Again, if you're Honar, one of the things you want to see if you can identify that ball early. If you catch a ball that gets in the dirt, maybe it bounces away, give yourself a chance to get into scoring position here in the 7th inning.
Throw it over to keep him close. Any minor advantage you can get as we get to the late innings in a tight game, that's crucial. Seegers today 1 for 3. Singled his last time up. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball in there for a strike, 1-1.
Good pitch there as he got that. That almost looked like the curveball, something a little bit different. He got it on the inside part of the plate and down low, so not really a spot where Siegs was going to be able to do anything with it.
Out of room on the right side for Michael. The 1-1. Off the plate, away from him. Ball 2.
Brecker framed it like crazy, but the ball was well outside. Kind of got it, held it. Carson looked a little irritated he didn't get the call, but
that's when your catcher doesn't do you a lot of favors, because it kind of makes you believe that you threw a strike, and then you physically show that you're frustrated. That doesn't help you out with the umpire, right?
You wouldn't think so.
The bottom third of the order for Michigan State when we get to the 8th inning. They've been good down there. Nothing easy against Michigan State today. Still waiting on the 2-1 pitch, but a couple of checks over there to first. Nobody really getting loose in the Iowa bullpen, so I guess we assume Christopherson comes back out for the 8th.
Carson's got an interesting little tick as he touches his mouth, goes to his hat, touches his mouth, goes to his hat. You can do that in college baseball.
Pitch to Seegers, just low, ball 3.
You have to wipe it off. If you go to your mouth, you have to wipe it off, and he kind of just barely goes, but he does it 3 times. He's kind of got a little system.
There's 1, there's 2.
He's held it a lot longer, though. This was a weird one.
3 balls and a strike. Honar takes off. This pitch is hit on the ground to the right side, gloved by Farquhar. Oh, he caught up to it, and he throws out Seegers at first base.
Well, I thought that was going to work out as Michael hit it into the hole that Farquhar had just vacated, but didn't hit it hard enough, and Farquhar was able to get back.
Ziegler. Christopherson returning for another inning of work. Deals a slider outside to Clark. 1-0 pitch from Christopherson, hit in the air to left center. This one carrying. Huckstorf and Peterson come together. It's Petey who makes the catch in the alley on the run. 1 down. Wow, Cart gave that a ride. That could be trouble, but stayed in the ballpark. First pitch swinging is Mays, and he fouled it back. Mays has been good for MSU today. He's 3 for 3 with a couple of doubles.
Yeah, Really going to need, Tello's going to need to not back up too far here. He's also got a great ability to lay down a bunt here, so great speed.
0-1 from Christopherson, that missed just high. I think, like you said earlier, Mays burned us on a bunt last night. That's who we were thinking of.
Yep.
The wind up and the pitch from Will. Ground ball foul. To the right side, 1-2.
We've at least eliminated that, I would expect now.
Yeah, get that bunt situation out of there. Christopherson, when he throws that slider kind of up and in, that's going to be incredibly hard to get a visual analysis on to make you think, yeah, I want to swing at that.
Well, you see it across the plate, and that's the part that you think is really good.
That was really good start to finish. A swing and a miss there on the plate.
Kept it on the outer portion, started it on the inside part of the right-handed batter's box, and just kind of snapped it over the outside part of the plate.
Bottom of the order was Ziegler. First pitch strike from Will. There it is.
Good job there as he showed fastball now. So now you should have whatever you want here with the Ziegler on the righty-righty matchup.
Just above the letters there for a ball. Ziegler today is 0 for 3. One swing and a miss.
Yeah, see if Will can finish it up where Ziegler's finished off the 2nd, the 4th, and the 6th, and then hopefully now the 8th.
How about that? Got a bunch of threes with a line through him. He's recorded the 3rd out number of times. Quite got to him yet. Will missed inside there. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Bases empty for MSU in the 8th. We're tied at 5. It'll be Mulfler, Moss, and Wilmus due up for Iowa in the bottom half of the 8th when we get there. The 2-2. Hit him. Just nicked the elbow guard. Went too far inside with that one.
Kind of flirted with that the pitch before when he threw that slider in. Boy, on Ziegler, I really would have loved to have seen him throw that ball away. You know, make him try to just cue ball one instead of coming back inside to him.
Yeah, because we did see him swing and miss it at a pitch that was outside. Never went back to it. And so now Ziegler at first with 2 outs. Back to the top of the order with Farquhar.
He's got good speeds. Chance he may go ahead and try to get into scoring position.
Hawks seem to know that, and Will's thrown a couple over to first. Ziegler 9 of 14 on the season with stolen bases. Doesn't go on this one. First pitch strike from Will on the outside corner.
Good fastball there, and now it's kind of the same thing, but in reverse. Will's going to have to be careful throwing that slider. He tries to get it inside. Farquhar's already shown that he'll go ahead and take it. He's willing to wear it, so you're going to have to maybe dot the outside part of the plate instead.
Sticks that elbow out there. This one just high. Will didn't get the call. Ball 1.
Good fastball, top part of the zone. Not an unusual non-strike call. It's a strike, but it's a place that college umpires don't call a lot.
Farquhar squares the bunt, popped it up over the Michigan State dugout, 1-2. Interesting decision there. And he helped us out, I think.
Well, he basically bunted at the same pitch that was called a ball, so got Will in a good spot there now, 1-2, but Will's got to finish him here.
Farquhar's a great hitter, gonna have to be creative and find a way to get him out. But first to check on the runner at first base.
Yeah, great contact guy, twice as many walks and hit by pitches as strikeouts, twice as many plus. So he's a hard guy to send back to the dugout without making contact.
Here's the 1-2, popped up. This should do. Raider Tello at third waves everybody off. He's looking up. He's got it for the 3rd out. Close. He was backpedaling there, John.
Well, that ball started up the middle and just kind of sliced over there, but good job by Tello to track it the whole way.
Bottom of the 8th inning, tied at 5 with Michigan State. Coy Sarsfield, he'll come to the plate for the Hawkeyes. To pinch hit, I guess, coming to the DH spot for Will Mulfler. Mulfler will exit. Sarsfield will enter. The matchup with Coy here in the late
Leading off the bottom of the
innings.
8th inning for the Hawkeyes and pinch hitting, number 38,
Appeared
Coy
in 14
Sarsfield.
games, got 14 at bats. A couple of hits.
Couple of walks, a hit by pitch. He's got good speed too. We'll take any of those.
Any of that. Put the pressure on Michigan State. Carson is still the pitcher for the Spartans. Sarsfield's in the box and ready to go. It's a righty-on-righty matchup. First pitch to Coy. Takes it. Strike. Outside corner. You don't really want much to do with that in your first at-bat.
No, and hopefully Coy's been paying attention, knows that Carson is slider heavy. So he can adjust his approach here.
Got the hands going on that. They'll send it down for an appeal. Didn't cross the plane. It's 1-1.
I don't think we had a strike called on an appeal either way this weekend.
No, not this weekend. I don't know if I can remember the last time we did outside of this weekend either, John. It's been a while. 1-1 to Sarsfield. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
But right back to that slider again, and based on the way that Coy's handled the first three, wouldn't be surprised to see a fourth one here either.
Carson's got the sign that he likes. He's ready. Here comes the 1-2. Called third strike. Fastball at the knees. Sarsfield couldn't pull the trigger. One down. Now look for Cade Moss to get us going. One out in the 8th. Moss steps in. He walked his last time up. First pitch to Cade. Strike. Outside corner.
We've gotten expansive on the strike zone. It's not terrible. It's just it's bigger than it has been, or maybe Carson's doing a better job of hitting the edges and testing the limits.
0-1 to Moss. Line drive into left. Base hit. Too much of the plate on that one. Cade makes him pay. He's on with his first hit. It's a single.
And know how the game is and how it's different than it was, 3 or 4 hours ago when we started.
Moss at first, back to the top of the order with Wilmus. First pitch, low and out, good stop by Brecker. On the backhand to prevent that from getting to the backstop, and Moss has to stay at first base. Iowa and Michigan State tied at 5 in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Hawks have been able to create traffic against Carson, but another good pitch there, and he's right back in this count. Is really hitting with the breaking ball.
Yeah. Seen a lot of pitches that come in mid to low 80s and they end up being strikes. So Carson's been pretty good for Michigan State. Here comes the 1-1 to Wilmus. Low and out, called a strike. Oh my. 1-2.
Boy, that is just the seam of a ball catching any part of the zone there. Hey, you said you were okay with it.
Yeah, that one. Spoke too soon, John. The 1-2 delivery on its way home from Carson. Low and out. That one, certainly. Ball 2.
But, I mean, again, all credit to Carson at this point as he's really hitting his spots. And I'm sure that's about exactly what he was trying to do. Just move that a ball lower and a ball outside. And, figure the umpire might call it or Wilmus might have to swing at it.
2-2 to Ben. Swing and a miss. Got him with the breaking ball. Ben just missed it.
Boy, he made a mistake there. Carson left that up in the middle of the zone. And Wilmus, we talked a little bit about how some of these Hawkeye hitters are really dangerous when they start looking the other way. Wilmus trying to just kind of dead pull that one, and unfortunately took a pitch that he maybe could have gotten and didn't get it.
Now to bring up Peterson with 2 outs, runner at first. Sam swings for the fences, comes up empty on the first one that he sees.
Just a steady diet of slider, slider, slider to pretty much everybody at this point. Iowa hitters have to make some adjustment here.
No balls and a strike. The pause from Carson, the pitch. That's low and out. Brecker has been superb behind the plate.
Yeah, defensively, he might be one of the best we've seen all season.
I agree with you.
You know, just from a stopping balls that aren't very good, from a from an arm standpoint, he's been very tough back there.
Moss takes off for second. The pitch is low. The throw is down into right center field. Moss will go to third base.
Boy, is that the announcer whammy? He's going to have to really rely on Brecker's continuing to be a brick wall.
All right, here we go.
Wall.
There we go. 2-1. Petey fouls it back. 2-2.
Again, kind of expands the zone a little bit. Hate seeing that.
The pitches just must be that good.
I'm sure
Yep.
there's a lot of movement on those
Yep.
on those breaking balls. So
See if Peterson can give Iowa the clutch hit late in the game. Tied at 5. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Runner at third is Moss. Here's the pitch to Peterson. Low and out, ball 3.
another good backhand from Brecker. In that one, you're expecting him to catch that one, but still a good job. Catches it really clean. Petey in, ready to go. Carson checking the wristband, going through his mouth hat.
He's got his routine, doesn't he? Here we go with the full count pitch to Peterson. Line drive, base hit in the left. Moss will score. Peterson does it. The Hawks have the lead. 6-5 in the 8th.
Sammy P.
I think that one is almost hit right to him if he's straight up.
Yeah, but late in the game, you're going to be protecting that anyway. So, spot where you see him moving over there, so not unusual. But that's, that goes all back to, we're talking about walks being free bases, a stolen base and the ball into center field, and that's how your catcher scores from first base after a walk. So
Yeah.
after a single, I guess. Let's make sure Moss gets full credit.
Iowa 6-5 now in the 8th. Peterson giving the Hawks the lead with that RBI single. Dorighi will try to add to it as he's in the box now with 2 outs. Still waiting to see his first pitch. Here it comes. Side corner, strike 1.
What a great pitch there. Another breaking ball just right down at the bottom of the zone. And he's had great command. Even when Iowa's hit him, they haven't really hit it that hard. They've had a couple of good spots and located, but
That one too far off the plate. Brecker tried to bring it back in, but it stayed outside.
that one knocked.
Yeah, that one did. That one did knock. It was denied entry.
Exactly. Umpire looked through the peephole and said, no, no.
1 ball and 1 strike to the Hawkeye first baseman. Petey takes off for second. A swing and a miss. Throw down again wide of the bag. This time it doesn't get into center. Peterson with the stolen base. Wind blowing pretty strong out to left towards the foul pole. Ball and 2 strikes. The pitch. That's low and in. Dorighi already has a home run today. Not necessarily asking him to do that. We'd take it, but base hit you'd think would score Peterson out there at second.
Take a good single to right center.
Here you go. Here comes the 2-2. Crushes it deep to right. Get going, baby. It is gone. Home run. Brennen Dorighi. Boom. Yes.
Dorighi does damage. 110 off the bat. It goes 391, and he knew it. He had the hand up the whole way. New guy, and they may not care now. Carson all of a sudden tries to throw the fastball and just really overthrew one.
Tello in the box. He's chomping at the bit to get in on the fun. Fouled it off his body in the box.
Coach Sutherland kind of gave him something. Rader gave a quick nod over there. Felt like he missed it. That ball was a little down. It wasn't a great pitch to hit.
Yeah. Count is even at 1. Base is empty, the pitch, low and out. Llewellyn getting loose for Iowa, the Hawkeye closer. Expect to see him in the ninth. Carson ready with the 2-1, here it comes. Raider hits it right back to him, up the middle. Farquhar's there, he makes a good play. Over to first to retire Tello. Raiders just had a tough series. So far the shift has worked against him, gave it a ride, but Farquhar had played it solidly there at second base. Hawks take the lead, up by 3. Helped in large part with a 2-run home run from Brennen Dorighi, but it's Peterson that gave the Hawks the lead first. It's 8-5.
Walks and 33 strikeouts.
Will not be easy. 2-3-4, Jeb, Vredenberg, and Frank for MSU. First pitch from Llewellyn is a fastball that's high out of the zone, ball 1.
Hawks with 6 extra base hits today.
Nice pitch from Llewellyn to even the count at 1-1. Been a lot of doubles and home runs. The Hawks have hit 3 home runs today. 2 from Dorighi, 1 from Wilmus. Here's the 1-1 from Llewellyn. Popped up, left center. Huxdorf over, Peterson shading to his left. He'll grab it, 1 down.
Big first out there. Just don't, we know what Vredenberg can do, not only statistically, we just saw it in his last at bat, so no need to put anybody free in front of him to just cut the gap any faster than you need to.
Yep. Come up with a solo opportunity, I guess, for Vredenberg, but wouldn't like to see that either. Count 1-0 to him.
Yeah, I just assume we get him out. But
yeah.
But if
there is damage,
if he's going to do it, let him do it by himself.
Thank you for clearing that up for me. 1-0 pitch from Llewellyn. Ooh, had him golfing at that one. 1-1.
That was another. We mentioned it with Petey earlier. That was one from Vredenberg that it was about halfway through. He's like, "This is a really bad idea, but I can't stop."
One's on the board here from Llewellyn. That's a beautiful breaking ball inside corner. 1-2, frozen.
See what Louie's got here. You like fastball? You like that breaking ball again?
Go back to the breaking ball.
You got him with 2 good ones in a row. So you go for the 3-peat.
Here's the 1-2. Oh, he put it down the left field line. This is trouble into the corner. It'll be a double for Vredenberg.
Tried to dot a fastball on the outside part of the plate. Actually had him fooled, but Vredenberg, the great hitter that he is, just went right down to it.
Quite yet. We see the batter Frank in the box. He swings at the first pitch. This one's a little bit of trouble. Blooped into left. It's down for a base hit. Vredenberg will score.
Boy, you've had 2 balls that just were not hit very hard. That was 64 miles an hour off the bat.
All right. Michigan State with 1. They're inching closer. It's 8-6. Iowa with the lead in the 9th. First pitch strike from Llewellyn to Brecker. They're at first base with 1 out.
Boy, sometimes you're like, hey, this guy just doesn't have it. Boy, Louie's pitched great.
Right.
It's just Michigan State's a good hitting team. They put 2 good balls in play here.
0-1, check swing. They will not even send it down. He went through the zone. 0-2.
Again, that's kind of what you've seen. Now you've got to put him away. And we talked at the top of this order, Vredenberg again, 31 walks, 24 strikeouts. So you got to be really good to put him in the book.
The 0-2, breaking ball just outside, a bit low as well. There's your chase pitch that you're looking for. And go after it. Allen looks in for the sign from Moss, working very quickly. Luke is ready. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Got him on one in the dirt. 2 down. Left-handed hitter. Iowa 8-6 with 2 outs in the 9th.
This part of the order's all got a little bit of pop, so you've got to still make sure you're doing what you're doing.
Llewellyn's first pitch dropped low. Ball 1.
Good job there from Bush. Everybody else had been kind of swinging at that pitch as Louie put it right on the outside part of the plate, just a little low, dropping out of the zone, but Bush was able to hold off.
Another one low from Llewellyn, ball 2. Confidently stepping back on the rubber. Luke is ready. The 2-0. Swing and a miss, 2-1.
Outstanding pitch there. Didn't give in to him. It's right in the middle of the plate, but had Bush completely fooled.
Hawks up by 2. Trying to finish off Michigan State. Here comes the 2-1 pitch from Llewellyn. Just in. Called a ball, 3-1.
Boy, we talked about how the strike zone had been expanding. It's been expanding to the outside part of the plate. So all of a sudden, Louis tries to get it inside and doesn't get that call.
The 3-1 ripped down the line in right trouble and foul ball. Just foul, and it was.
Well, Brennen Dorighi said it was.
Woo! An emphatic call by the first base umpire, Rick Allen. He was hopping up and down, waving it off because it was foul.
It was close.
Very close.
Michigan State had one earlier that felt like landed right on the line. And that's actually ball 4. That's a fastball that's 2 or 3 balls above the top part of the zone, which doesn't usually get called anyway. So Louis might have caught a break. Let's get him out.
Runner will be going on the pitch. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Foul ball. Look out in the Iowa dugout. Ouch. Might have caught somebody.
That one was screaming. Hopefully that caught the screen in front.
And we'll do it again. Just building the suspense. It can never be easy, can it, John?
Boy, he's 104 plus on both of the last 2 balls.
Llewellyn's got the sign that he likes. Ready with the 3-2. Here it comes. Just got a piece of it and fouled it off.
Had him a little more off balance that time.
I like the idea to go outside. You've been working inside the whole time. Maybe change things up.
Well,
I know you're running out of pitches to do that with. But
especially with the hard pull, because he's been pulling, and you saw it. He kind of cued it off the end of the bat there. I'd go right back to the same spot.
Another 3-2 from Llewellyn. Popped up. Shallow center. Hucksdorf coming forward. He looks up. He's got it. Hawks win it 8-6 and clinch the series over Michigan State.
What a big win. What a gutty win there. Michigan State showed a lot of heart coming back after the rain delay. Bradenburg home run tied it up. But Iowa, 3 huge runs there in the 8th inning. And Louis comes in, gives up a run, but closes it out.